Confirmed, Jose Mourinho could make Premier League return this summer. Newcastle United are reportedly keeping tabs on Jose Mourinho's situation at Benfica as they look for a potential replacement for Eddie Howe. The Magpies are currently 14th in the Premier League table, following a disappointing English top-flight campaign to date, while they were knocked out of the Champions League at the last 16 stage, a 8-3 aggregate defeat to a rampant Barcelona side. A late 2-1 loss to Crystal Palace on Sunday afternoon has ramped up the pressure on Howe, although the club's chief executive David Hopkinson has revealed that a sacking is not currently on the agenda. Speaking after the loss to Sunderland in late March, Hopkinson told reporters, "I don't have a stance on his future. Eddie is our manager. I expect to have a great run to the end of the season here, and we will talk about the future when it's time. Right now, we're focused on this season's competition." However, sources have informed Football Transfers that a managerial change cannot be ruled out, and TalkSport now claim that Mourinho has emerged as a candidate to replace Howe this summer. Mourinho has been linked with a move to Newcastle on a number of occasions in recent years, amid questions over Howe's future, and it appears as though a St James Park's, which could be on the cards. The 63-year-old rejoined Benfica in September, and although his deal with the Portuguese outfit runs until 2027, both parties have the option to terminate his contract at the end of the current campaign if they wish. Mourinho has been heavily linked with replacing Roberto Martinez as the Portugal national team boss after the upcoming World Cup, but an agreement has not yet been finalised and Newcastle are set to compete for his signature. The Magpies' Saudi owners are reportedly eager to attract a high-profile manager if Howe departs, and Mourinho has been earmarked as a suitable contender for the job, with the 63-year-old admired by the club's hierarchy. Roberto Mancini and Andoni Iraola are also on Newcastle's shortlist ahead of this summer, with Howe potentially set to leave St James Park, 5 years at the helm. If Mourinho is appointed as Newcastle manager this summer, they would become the 4th Premier League club he has managed after Chelsea twice, Manchester United and Tottenham Hotspur. Newcastle United could sack manager Eddie Howe and turn to former Chelsea, Manchester United and Tottenham Hotspur boss Jose Mourinho, while Liverpool are leading the race to sign Bournemouth defender Marco Senesi are a free transfer this summer. Join us for the latest transfer news and rumours from around the globe. Newcastle United's poor run of form recently has rumours surrounding the future of manager Eddie Howe, says TalkSport. If the club's Saudi owners decide to sack Howe, then a big-name replacement is on the cards, with Benfica's Jose Mourinho, former Manchester City boss Roberto Mancini, who is now in Qatar with Al Sadd, and Bournemouth boss Andoni Iraola, who is leaving at the end of the season, all options. Meanwhile, Newcastle are set to make a €50 million move for a Sporting CP centre-back Ousmane Diomande, 22, again this summer, says Football Insider. Liverpool are leading the race to sign Bournemouth defender Marco Senesi, says News. Senesi, 28, is set to become a free agent when his contract expires in the summer, and it is reported that a switch to Anfield is now his most likely destination as the Reds look for a future long-term replacement for Virgil van Dijk. Senesi has started 31 of 32 Premier League matches for the Cherries this season, and has also been linked with Manchester United, Chelsea and Barcelona. Chelsea are interested in Bournemouth midfielder Alex Scott, says The Independent. The Blues have identified the 22-year-old as a potential replacement for Enzo Fernandez, who has recently been linked with Real Madrid. The Premier League side are expected to accelerate their interest in Scott in the summer, but it is reported that they could face some competition for his signature, which would require an offer worth well over £50 million to secure. Manchester City are closely monitoring the situation of fired right-back Givart Reid, according to Sky Sports. The Premier League club reportedly remain keen on strengthening the position in the next transfer window despite the impressive performances of Matheus Nunes, while they are expected to explore the market for further reinforcements in midfield and on their forward line. Reed, 19, is also be on the radar of Bayern Munich as well as other teams in the Premier League. Barcelona are set to step up their pursuit of Palmeiras forward Eduardo Conceição. Perez, the Blaugrana, are reportedly closing in on a move for the 16-year-old and, despite his release clause being set at €100 million, Palmeiras would be prepared to accept an offer worth €50 million. According to the Times, Conceição, who represents Brazil at U17 level, is also being watched by Manchester City, Chelsea and Paris Saint-Germain.